right, Sim Racer. So now we're looking at the monitor stand here. This is the triple monitor stand. And what we got here is the hardware, the angle plates there, looks like little boomerangs. And then of course you've got your 3 plates to hold your monitors. You got the hardware, and then these 2 are little braces that go on the corners, from my understanding, back here. And another, it's not on this picture, but that's what it shows on the website. So you got 1, 2, 3 long legs that are 1200 millimeters, and 2 of them are going to be your uprights attached to those 2 short ones there, which will be your actual legs, horizontal. And then the extra long one is for your center monitor. And these 2 right here are for your side monitors. So let's get into the build. Alrighty, gang. So we got the first stage here of the triple monitor setup here. We got the bottom run, the legs rather. It's 580 long by 1200 for the vertical. These are going to be your uprights, and this is of course your base. And you're going to want to use, comes with 4 of these black angle brackets. You'll use them on the bottom. That's, showing, make it look pretty basically on here. And you're going to use the chrome socket A cap screws for it, the M8s in them. Of course, obviously a T-nut there, T-nut there, T-nut, T-nut on the inside of the channel. And while you're at it, you might as well go ahead and put your end caps on here, one on both sides, and your feet as well, why it's easier to do at this particular stage. Don't worry about the black nuts. You'll use them later on in the build. So, all right, let's get on with the next. Alrighty, so we got the feet all assembled here, the legs and the uprights together. This is what it's going to look like when it's done, when you got both pairs done, or when you have the pair of them done, rather. I got the feet installed, end caps installed. I actually measured the same distance from the edges for the feet on both of them, as well as the back, as well as measuring from your vertical post or channel to the back of it to keep it the same distance. That way everything is, weight distribution is equal throughout. So that's what I suggest as well. And go ahead and make sure, all the end caps are on. End caps are on there. So, all right, next is to put the middle bar up next. All right, guys, so now we're doing the center section of the triple monitor stand here. And I pre-assembled one side of it and of course one of the plates, or actually all 3 of the plates, just to make it easier to show you what's going on here. So the center one is 47 inches long. So you're going to want to find center of, this channel is 47 inches long. So find the center of it, measure it out. It's 23.5. And go ahead, my suggestion is you go ahead and mark it with a little marker or something right there. And when you put in your screws for this particular plate there, you can actually line up that hole pretty close to being dead nuts on there. So you're going to use, of course, the flathead screws that come with the kit, and the, I believe they're M6s. And then of course, the T-nuts that accompany those. And then go ahead and, while you're at it, you might as well put them on all of them, like I did. Now these, here are the edge ones. I haven't measured from the center of my monitor base mount to the edge yet. So you'll want to do that just so you can snug this down ahead of time before you mount up your base mount to the monitor, because your monitor is going to cover up these screws and you're not going to be able to get to them afterwards. So, oops. Also, when you go ahead and put on the side mounts here, you're going to want to head, and of course, these are using M8s, and you can go ahead and, add the T-nuts on top side and down side. And of course, make sure your brackets are both pointing top and bottom in the same direction here, with this slot swinging outwards. And then while you're at it, go ahead and add 4 T-nuts in this one. Same thing, M8, 2 up here and 2 down here. And that way you can just slide this into place and line it up. And that'll allow you to go ahead and just swing this in and out like so, for when you have, your monitors mounted, obviously, right? So pretty cool. Got quite a bit of quite a bit of swing here. I can't remember the degrees. I think it's 40 to like 70 degrees, something like that. But quite a bit there. And obviously, you know, we'll have to put this whole center section up on the stands itself. I'll get to that here in a second. But if you're like me, you're doing it by yourself, you can just pre-assemble this stuff all on the floor up front, so making it a little bit easier on yourself. So anyway, we'll go on to the next section, and I will, of course, have it assembled and standing upright, and then measured off for my monitors and stuff. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, gang, so I got this whole unit assembled as far as the side arms go, the center mount, and the other left side as well. The angles on there, and I'm gonna need to install the legs to it. So it makes it a little difficult doing it by yourself. However, the way I was originally gonna do it, which was following the instructions, was to use these two 80s. Well, there's no 80s in the kit for me to use. So I was like, well, okay, I'll just use 240s. I'll put 240s here. And then I realized, well, I'm gonna need 240s here so this leg can't swing out. So eight 40s on each side. And then I noticed that these screws were actually too long for them. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to use my chrome screws for it. So, and then I'm like, okay, this is not right. Let me check it out some more. So I was like, what is this bracket for? So this diamond shaped bracket is actually an upgrade kit that comes with it. And if you go to the website, you'll find the PDF to download. I didn't print it off here, but what it does is it does what you see here. It sandwiches itself in between, you know, onto this channel here with T-nuts backside, and these two you're gonna screw in with T-nuts on your legs. I got some T-nuts in there already, and to hang it up. So remember to put your T-nuts kind of in the right direction so you don't have them hanging out past the bracket. You know, like this is not hanging out past the bracket. You can't see the T-nuts. But yeah, it's pretty easy there, and it's actually a lot more stable, and you're using a lot less hardware to get the same job done. So yeah, great job. Of course, then it allows you to go ahead and slide, you know, the whole bracket all the way out to the edge if you need it to, for the extra room around your rig, as well as sliding this all the way up to the top. So how it's going to end up looking, something like this. I'll do it one-hander here. So you'll have, you know, your leg across your diamond plate right there. Yeah, 2 screws, boom, you're done. So pretty sweet, pretty sweet. I like that upgrade kit on there. So cool deal. All right, so if you're running into this issue, hope this will help you out as well. All right, let's get on to the next. All right, so as you can see, got a hole in my sock. Yeah, got these diamond brackets on here. I actually just went all the way flush. I'm not sure how high I'm gonna be, since on my P1X I have the 6-inch lift on there. But for now, well, I'll move this one up to the edge as well. But yeah, makes it really easy to do it by yourself on the floor, because you can just set this one on here and then just lift up on this edge to make it flat, you know, obviously with it, and start screwing them in. And then lay it down and slide the other one underneath it as well. And now you can just pick up the whole unit by yourself. So really like this upgrade kit, or the way they redesigned it right now. So good stuff. All right, so let's move on to the next. Whew, man, so it's done. Got this baby all hooked up, triple monitor stand set up. I got just a tiny gap right there that I haven't got out yet. Might finagle it with it a little bit more. You're not really gonna, well, when you're setting here, at this point when you're driving, center screen's lined up 50 inches from the ground, which is where my eyeballs are when I sit in the P1X. So yeah, you're not gonna see it. So that's pretty good. And you can, of course, rotate these monitors further out and in. I'm just gonna leave them in, because honestly, it's a little bit of a pain to roll them out. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So when you get into this area here, after I put the center monitor on, this is what I ended up doing. I put the center monitor on and got it all mounted up. I actually broke one of the tabs in there because they kept backing out on me. I tightened it up just a little too tight and broke off the tab. So I only have 3 holding this one on because the stud is still stuck into the monitor. But oh well, it's on par for some of the stuff I do sometimes. But anyway, after you get this one mounted up, you know, this is your main one. Set your height the way you want it, center of your eyes basically, and make it easier so you don't have to adjust it in the software, because not all games let you adjust the height of it. So get that set, and then that's your base point for the rest of them. So what ended up happening, since these are 32-inch monitors, and this can go up to, I think, 40 inch or 42 inch or something like that, these were a little bit too far in, and this was way too far out, so I had it out around here, and so I had to just loosen it up and adjust it in. And to do that, the easiest way to do it was to loosen these two, top and bottom right there, and then push it back to where you want it. And what happens is you end up getting it pretty dang close, pushed back this way, but you want to go ahead and adjust this angle out to where you want it, and this is where I want it, here at the max inward angle. But anyway, you'll pull this over to the left here in this case, to get it a little bit inward. There we go. See my inward of the monitor, and then hold the arm. You're going to end up having to hold the arm up a little bit and tighten down this screw and this one as you hold the monitor arm up, just so it'll be level across there, although it's just a tad off, but that's pretty damn close. This one is on the money, actually. This one's just a couple millimeters off, so I can live with that. But yeah, you're gonna end up having to hold that arm, and it really takes this one, and this one to get that arm level across there. So yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. So I don't see myself actually, well, it's easy enough to adjust, right? But I don't see myself loosening this one up, and bottom enough to adjust this arm in and out, and then get back out of the rig and tighten it up, so it'll set, zoom out here, so it'll set level with your top monitor. So yeah, that's not really, it's, in theory it's fine, and probably if I wasn't on carpet and I was on a level hardwood floor, or maybe even linoleum or wood or tile or something like that, that where it would set completely level and without having a little bit of cushioning to it, I might be able to get away with that. But for carpet, nah, not really. It's too much of a pain in the butt to do that. So set it, forget it, climb in and out of your rig accordingly. This rig's actually looking a lot easier to climb in and out of than the Simatech was, so not too bad. But yeah, all in all, it actually worked out really good. After I got the arms pushed in this way, what I ended up doing here for the monitor, now the monitor at this point was pushed too far to the left. It was too hard to actually try to show video on me this, because a lot of tedious back and forth, but too far to the left. So then what I did was just measure how much gap my monitor stuck over, took off the monitor again, took out 2 screws and left them out, and just put 2 screws, and then took all 4 screws out rather, right? But then before I finalized on my adjustment, I just put in these 2 across here just to make sure I got it all right before I cinch everything down. And so anyway, you take all 4 screws off, pop your monitor off, and then loosen up the 4 Allen heads that are on this plate, and move it out. So I just measured it out. This is like 2 3/4 in this case for this monitor, from the edge of the channel and to this piece here. And I left the screws loose in there so I could put the monitor right back on and just fine tune it just a little bit. Did that, took the monitor back off, cinched them down, cinched the socket head cap screws in here, the flathead cap screws in here, put the monitor in, installed it, and then you're done, right? So a little bit of back and forth to set up your monitor. So don't get worried. It's easy to, it's, you know, easy enough to do. Once you do the first one, figure out you need to go in this way a little bit, and then, or sorry, go in forward this way a little bit to get your monitors closer, and then back the monitor back out on this channel here. So highly adjustable as far as that goes. Of course, the right side was just the same. So like I said, when you're sitting here racing, which head will be in about this area, it won't be a problem. So all right, well, that's the monitor stand built. Went together fairly well after I figured out how to do it. This was a little different than monitor build that you might have seen on Sim Racing Garage. Barry, I watched his and it didn't apply to me because they've updated their monitor stand since then. So yeah, hopefully this will be helpful for other people as well out there. And until next time, I'm out.